Coach, we have a damp and rainy afternoon in the tri-state area as EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to MetLife Stadium in the Garden State of New Jersey. A few moments ago, the crowd here was on their feet as their beloved Jets made their way out of the tunnel. They're ready to go. We're ready to go. And it should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face off with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On the counter, here's Bell. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Let's go, defense.
On 3rd and short, going with their tight end. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go, deep tight.
They'll run it with Bell. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Bell, of course, 3-time 1,000-yard rusher. Sat out 2018, but you look back to 2017, a tick under 1,300 yards and almost 700 more receiving. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Bell. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
To throw is Darnold, and he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. An effective 7-yard third down conversion.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
At the 47-yard line.
59, Mike is 59. Mike the 59. Watch the run,
On 2nd and 11 now. Darnold goes underneath for Bell. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold, and he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. A safety with a sack there, LaMarcus Joyner. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Raiders offense taking the field again. And CD, we talked early in the year about this Raiders team needing to survive their long odyssey away from home in the first half of the season because they came back for a 3-game homestand. They won all 3 of those games. So now look at them. They're 6-4 following the Week 11 win against Cincinnati.
I think it would be safe to say that going into the season, we thought we would see an improved Oakland Raiders team. but I'm not sure many people saw them as making a playoff push. They could really be a year, maybe 2 years ahead of schedule if they continue to play this well. They go to the Jets, big win against Kansas City on the road. This team has a lot to accomplish, a lot left out there, and they could possibly get this done. And I think one of the best stories of the year when you think about that long time away from playing a true home game.
Oh, and by the way, after that Kansas City game, could be their final 2 home games ever in Oakland against the Titans and then the Jags to round things out. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets coming back onto the field here offensively, and this is a team that obviously has had their struggles this year, Charles. Through 11 weeks, they're at 3-7. They did get the win in Week 11 against Washington, 34-17. And Sam Darnold heard his fair share of criticism a few weeks ago. He responded.
Career-high 4 touchdown passes, threw for 293 yards. Halloween's over. Don't worry about that with Sam Darnold. I didn't think it would affect him. And now this Jets team actually believes they can compete with a lot of teams in this league. There's a lot of chatter that they can put together a heck of a winning streak. They're home against Oakland. They go to Cincinnati, home against Miami. Definitely 2 of those 3 they should get.
Now let's just throw it out there. Say they get all 3. Then they're at 6-7. Things start to get interesting. Now the 2nd down throw on target. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. We're scoreless after 1. Darnold off the play fake to Bell. He's got his rookie tight end, Trevon Wesco. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet 1st down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Here's a throw out wide to Anderson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 6 there, but now it's 3rd. He was the leading receiver for the Jets a season ago. Robbie Anderson, 50 catches, over 750 yards, and getting more and more comfortable with Sam Darnold. Now a year plus under their belts collectively. You'd figure that those numbers for Anderson might be trending further north. Darnold now to throw. A screen to Bell. And he stopped up short of the 1st as they tackle him down at about the 36. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now on 2nd and 13. Carr. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver, and it'll bring up third down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now Carr. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Quinnen Williams in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Check, 59, 59. Watch the run, watch the run.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Darnold. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. That's where Crowder makes his hay in the slot. Jets hoping to see more of that going forward. He signed with them in March after the last 4 seasons being in Washington. Had 3 pretty good years, then sort of tailed off last season due in large part to an ankle injury. A Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and it's second down. Well, partner, let's look league-wide for a second and think playoffs here. I'm going to give you some teams, and you tell me if they still have a chance at the AFC wild card, or are they just waiting till next year? How about Cleveland at 4-6?
They're actually getting hot right now, but I still don't see them getting there and being in the playoffs.
Okay, same division. Steelers, they're 5-5 right now.
Yeah, I think the loss to Cleveland finished off that run.
Also 5-5, the Titans.
They actually have a chance if they stick to what they do best, and that's run the football. They'll have to chase down Indianapolis and Houston in their own division.
Okay, lastly, I'm going to ask the question because they've talked about it. How about the 3-7 Jets?
Who's they and why?
Not you and I.
Okay, I was about to say, why? No.
Then he finds his man Griffin. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Again, Darnold. Then he fires a strike to his big target, Demaryius Thomas. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To the air again, Darnold. This one caught by Crowder. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
First red zone opportunity now for the Jets. 1st and 10 at the 19. Darnold to throw again. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Darnold, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Here's Darnold. Into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Fickens' kick is good. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. You're down 3, under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. And now Oakland ready to take the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
What now? 180. 46 to Mike. Quit talking about it and bring it. 46 to Mike.
Throwing on first down is Carr. He's got it to Williams. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, this is taken at his 4. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. A gain of 6 there on first. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Second year in Oakland for Waller after being signed off the Ravens practice squad, but only 6 catches, 75 yards a season ago. Then he got a lot of hype in the offseason following OTAs. Their offensive coordinator saying, you know, Darren, you have that position. Coach Gruden went as far as to say, Darren, you have the chance of a lifetime here. Well, now it's time for Darren Waller to go out there and prove it. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd and 12, Carr under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Carr going to throw. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 43. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
This pass from Carr taken in by Waller. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Here's Carr to throw. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game.
Williams loses the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. So following the fumble recovery, here's Darnold. Incomplete. And with that, folks, I want to remind you to join the NFL Salute to Service. This season, the NFL and its players are honoring those who proudly serve our country, and fans are encouraged to join NFL players in writing letters to service members and their families. To learn how you can send your letter today, visit NFL.com/salute. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Now Darnold. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Neville Hewitt on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing on 2nd down. Carr nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. On play action, it's Carr. It's caught. Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room, where they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we were talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Now Carr. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Okay, it's time for me to break out my thesaurus for that one. And I don't have anything. That was amazing. One-handed in this weather. I mean, you know the ball's got to be slick. But to be able to catch it and come down with it, what do they call that? The process of the catch? He completed it all the way through.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
The Raiders on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, it's Carr. That's complete to Richard, the running back. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. That right there is what Jalen Richard can bring to this offense. I mean, last year, yes, he had 55 carries, but they used him more as a receiver. He had 68 catches in 2018, which was tied for the team lead. Really adds a nice element to the backfield for Derek Carr and company. Carr completes it, and they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
Throw from Carr complete to Renfro. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Here's Carr. It's a screen to Richard. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Derek Carr, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Raiders last year, and they only won 4 games total, so they've got some experience dealing with tight ones. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Carr, Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
The kick by Carlson is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here's Darnold. And he's got a man, Demaryius Thomas. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies.
Let's go.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run the counter. Bell, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
I'm going back to you.
They'll go again with Bell. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Darnold is going to take a knee, and that should just about do it.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros.
Keep playing hard.
But, Charles, a one-score game. Down to the end we went. They had one final play in that one-score game. We all knew what was coming, the Hail Mary. They just couldn't get it done.
Wasn't exactly complicated, was it? We all knew, as you said, and go long and see if we can find someone open. They didn't get it done. Someone's happy. Someone is not.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Jets as we say so long from MetLife Stadium.